All right, guys, so I put this video together for families that either couldn't make one of our Zoom sessions this week, or maybe you did make the Zoom session and just needed to watch this as a reminder. This is about what if the school district needs to turn all face-to-face students into virtual remote learning students. Let me just say this is not for quarantine students that are not able to come to school because of quarantine. This is simply if the entire school went remote. How would school look? Essentially, school for your child would look very similar to what it looks like in the classroom. They would simply be going to all of their classes and following their same schedule, but from home through Zoom. So let me kind of show you what your child would do. I explained this to the students as well, that they would wake up in the morning, hopefully get a shower, get dressed, have some breakfast, so that they can log into their computer and start their school day after all of those things are done. What your child has on their computer, and it's saved to their bookmark up at the top, they have what we call a virtual schedule. I have both my virtual schedule and Mrs. Pepper's homeroom's virtual schedule here. I'm going to show you mine. But if you have a student in Mrs. Pepper's homeroom, yours will look very similar. It's just a different order of classes. Your students also is a website, not a Google Doc. I'm going to get rid of my face here. So it's actually even easier because they just click on the links and it takes them directly there. You'll see I have to click twice to get there, but that's just because I'm the creator of the website. If you take a look here, again, this is for my homeroom, you can see that day one has a different schedule than days 2 through 6. That's because day one is our day that we have 2 specials and not one like a regular day. We call that double special day. So you're going to notice that the schedule for day one, the timing, is going to be different than the schedule for days 2 through 6. The classes are in the same order, but the timing is different. I'm going to pretend that today, say, is a day 3. You can see that for days 2 through 6, homeroom starts at 8:30. I tell the students that I would like them there 5 minutes early. So if it says 8:30, I really want them to be logging into the Zoom at 8:25. And to log into the Zoom, it's very simple. They would go ahead and click on the homeroom link. Again, for me, it's going to make me click twice. For them, it's a 1 click. And it will take them directly to their homeroom Google Classroom. This is where we post kind of links to activities, but this is also where their Zoom link is. It's always going to be at the very top, and they will go ahead and join that Zoom link. And again, it will be 5 minutes early. What will happen is I'm not going to start class, for example, until 8:30. So in the meantime, they will wait in a waiting room. And that's where I'll, hopefully be taking attendance and looking to see who's there and such. At 8:30, I would let them in. This would be kind of our start of the day, show them morning announcements, kind of explain anything that they need to know for the day. You'll notice that their next class, math, starts at 8:40, but we want them there 5 minutes early. And I know that at first glance that looks impossible because that would mean they would need to get there at 8:35, but homeroom doesn't end until 8:40. What we as teachers do is we end the last class 5 minutes early so that they can log into their next class to be 5 minutes early. And if they needed to use the restroom, they would have those 5 minutes to quickly run so they could be back by the time that they're let into the waiting room. So at 8:35, your child, if they have me for math at this time, they would click on math and it would take them to their math Google Classroom. And they would come to class by entering, the Zoom link right here. Again, it's always at the top of the page. All right. Please realize that when they're in the Zoom call, and we told this to the kids as well, that they are essentially in school. They shouldn't be in bed. They shouldn't be in pajamas. They should be professional students in a professional setting, the best you can do in your house. I realize that in houses with multiple children or people working from home or, houses that don't have a lot of separate rooms, it is hard to do that. But we really want the education to continue. We really want the learning to continue. And so when they're in the Zoom meeting, we've spoken to the kids. They come in muted. They should stay muted unless otherwise told. They should not be chatting in the chat unless asked a specific question to respond to by the teacher. They need to keep their video on so that we can watch them. All of the things that, professional students would be doing. Now, again, they would have math, with me teaching the same way as much as I can, the same way, just teaching. I will be in the classroom, they will be at home. They would be using their materials that are in their backpack, because the backpacks would go home: dry erase board, marker, math book, scrap paper, pencils. All of those materials should be right there where the students are, so that if they need something, they can just reach down and grab it. Now, you'll notice math in this case would end at 10:10 officially, but I would let them go at 10:05. Why? Because at 10:05, we want them to log in to reading. And so then they would be sitting in Mrs. Pepper's waiting room. At 10:10, Mrs. Pepper would let them in, and she would teach them reading. The students will have specials as well. They'll just be done remotely the same exact way. So you can see that they would just click on their specials link. There's a Zoom there to connect them to, and they will do their specials through Zoom. The thing to notice is that they do have 40 minutes for lunch from 11:40. I know it says 12:25. However, if you look at when reading continues for period 6, we want them logged in 5 minutes early so that they can make sure that they're not late. So at 12:20, they should be logging back into Zoom. They're going to be using their computers a lot during the day if this were the case. And so we want to make sure they have their charger with them at all times. You can see, guys, the day would continue just like that. And they would go through their normal schedule. They would simply get to their class through this virtual schedule using the times that are shown. There is IE. The kids are expected to go to IE. There are times when, once they're there, if a teacher doesn't need to work with them, we'll say, see you later, enjoy the rest of your day. But they need to show up. Attendance is taken in all classes. And we really are looking for punctual behavior if, we were to go virtual. Currently, I'm teaching virtually for half of the day. Half of our team is virtual right now. And I do teach them social studies in the afternoon, and being on time is extremely helpful and important. The classes do go very, very fast. So this is essentially how the day would work. I know I probably obviously can't answer questions through a video, but if you have any questions, then please send us an email and we'll be happy to answer them. Now, again, this isn't happening, but we wanted families to just be prepared that if they were to announce this change from face-to-face to remote, like the middle school and high school had to do, we didn't want you guys to be overwhelmed by the unknown and by, the what's different than in the spring. So again, guys, please, thank you so very much for listening to this and watching this. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.